Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RapChat podcast. Now, before we head into the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and to subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcast, make sure to leave us a rating and also leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every single week. I am your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
Alrighty. Well, today on the docket that we've got for today, the schedule, we've got game recaps. We're recapping the Detroit game and the Bucks game. And then we're moving on to our top 10 centers. And then after that, it will be looking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How's it going over in Ontario, Sam?
Right on. Pretty boring. Pretty boring. Really cold. It's like minus 30 right now, I think.
Really?
And then we're going to get 40 centimeters of snow tonight.
Wow.
Is that normal
So,
in Ontario?
climate change. I guess sometimes you'll get big snowfalls. Like this is really big. Apparently, it's never as big as they say.
I just mean I just mean the minus 30 weather.
Yeah, I mean, Northern Ontario, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Here, you get like a cold stretch every year, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's really cold. Like I'm not leaving the house at all. It's freezing.
I didn't really leave the house much this weekend, to be honest, man. Too much snow
No, we
for
had
me. It was
all
a
the
little-
rain and all the snow.
Yeah, it's a little cold.
Kind of poopy.
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
No. All right.
It was a good weekend for staying in, though.
It was.
Just kind of chilling.
I like having those excuses to stay in, because I just kind of like want to relax and watch a movie or something, And
Well,
I feel like I can't do that when this,
totally. Yeah, I agree. I did the pretty much same thing this weekend. What's up, Sam?
Yeah, I sat on the couch all day yesterday and just watched college basketball.
Let's go.
That was my whole day. So
That's awesome.
I didn't leave the basement.
Did you catch any good games? What were the games that you...
I mean, good prospects. I was watching all the Duke guys.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State upset Baylor, which is pretty big.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I like the college basketball atmosphere, right? The crowds are so crazy, so it's fun to
I find
watch.
it's more competitive. In a
Well,
lot of
yeah.
cases.
I mean, all the kids are fighting, right?
Yeah, and
They're
like
really
they're not
fighting.
getting paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
a guy's losing the NBA. And
Didn't
then
they just change that rule though? Aren't there?
you can get like a sponsorship
off of your likeness, right?
Yeah.
You can make money off of your likeness. You
Yeah.
don't get paid for basketball, but you
No,
can make money.
Like Arizona can't pay a player to come play for them, but like you
Right.
can get sponsorships and all this kind of stuff.
Right, because I remember there was some issues with players who were really good, but they had YouTube channels,
Yeah.
and they couldn't make any money off their YouTube channel.
You know how? Remember
How
when
stupid
James
is that?
Wiseman got like suspended for a bit in college? Do you remember that?
How long ago was that? Was
That
that
was 2019.
yeah, I was like, was that 2 years ago? Sounds like something like that.
Yeah. So he. So
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Penny Hardaway.
Right.
Is their coach in Memphis and Memphis University, and he took James Wiseman for dinner, and Penny paid for it, and he got banned for it because Penny paid for their dinner.
What?
Yeah,
James Wiseman got banned.
yeah, banned, suspended, and then he's like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, I also remember hearing a story
What?
years
Dude.
ago. Steph Curry got in trouble for signing an autograph.
Wait.
There's so much stuff. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Dude, I hate
It's still
that,
it's
man.
still bad because they didn't really address that whole James Wiseman problem. They said you can get sponsorships and stuff like that. So like you get
And most guys aren't good enough to get sponsorships.
Yeah, like LaMelo. A big reason why he didn't go to UCLA was because he had a signature shoe beforehand.
Yeah,
and
right.
You're not allowed to have a signature shoe, and
Yeah.
because you're technically signed a contract with a.
He
a
did one of the
company.
most unorthodox things that players do. There was a lot of talk about, oh well, if LaMelo goes to play in Australia or if he goes to play in Europe, there's no way he's gonna make it in the NBA. He's gonna be stuck in those leagues forever. And it's like, dude, he did the smart thing. He actually went and made money.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This guy didn't even go to college.
And that's a big risk for a lot of guys. Like RJ Hampton.
Yeah, it
did
depends,
the same
depends on
thing,
how
and-
good you are.
Yeah, RJ Hampton, he's good, but because he's playing against grown men still, right? Like that's an actual league, and that's the best players in Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like RJ Hampton didn't do that great because he's not as skilled as LaMelo, but like LaMelo, like the fact that he could do that in a grown league really shows that how good he
in
actually
Europe
was.
and Australia.
Yeah.
And Australia, which is pretty impressive. But anyways, let's get into the Raptor stuff. So, Elias, you had the Detroit Pistons
right.
game.
No, Sam had Detroit.
Oh, Sam
I
had
had
Sam.
Milwaukee.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to hear some
Sadly.
criticisms, Sam.
Yeah, so I guess we can get right into it. I don't want to talk much about the game itself. The Raptors got blown out 103 to 87. I think the score might have been even a little kind to the Raptors there. It was a really tough game. I've got one big takeaway, so I guess I've got a bit of a rant here. The Raptor Stars, so I'm calling our stars Fred, Pascal, OG. They all started out pretty slow, but I wasn't like, especially Pascal, I thought played well this game, and then Fred turned it on at the end, and OG was fine. And I had no problem with how those guys played, just because they've been carrying us like all year, and especially like we saw it last night, right, against the Bucks. My problem in this game was from the supporting cast, and mainly guys like Kember. Oh, Kember doesn't count because he got hurt right away. But Precious Achiuwa, Champagny, Yuta, Svi, Delano, even these guys, the bench pieces. When your starters are having a bad night, your bench guys need to step up in at least some way, right? Like if these guys just hit a few shots, it's an entirely different game. Like, let's go into it. Precious Achiuwa, 2 for 7. Justin Champagny, 0 for 1. Yuta, 0 for 3. Svi, 0 for 2. Of our non-big three guys combined to hit 1 3.
Wow.
Jeez.
Is Svi even on the team anymore?
The biggest thing is here.
Technically.
So the Raptors' second unit gets by on like pure effort a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Right? Like on the offensive rebounds, they're just working harder than the other team.
Mm-hmm.
That works a lot in the regular season, right? When maybe teams aren't trying as hard. But the Pistons came into this game trying so hard. Mm-hmm. So the Raptors' second unit couldn't just get by on out-hustling them. And I think it showed that they couldn't hit the timely open three when they needed to. And at some point, right, it's not just effort, right? That's a big thing for the playoffs, right? You can't out-effort teams in the playoffs because everyone's trying so hard. And I think that was kind of like a thing in this game. Like, it doesn't matter how hard you're trying on the glass. If you can't hit an open three, you're not helping the team. Yeah. And, like, if they just hit like 3 threes, this is an entirely different game, I think.
Man. We just never had momentum.
Well, and I was thinking about this too. Like,
no,
the 3-point shot can absolutely change a game in the modern NBA. Like it just even just one, it can turn a 6-point lead into a 3-point lead. You know what I'm saying? Like that is those, especially down the stretch, man. Like those types of possessions, like the corner three is the best shot in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, that's the best shot. If you can get a corner three, you got to get it.
Having a guy who can play defense and hit a corner three is essential. Dude,
and that's what I think that we've been seeing more of that out of a guy like Justin Champagny. Mm-hmm. He's just doing a crazy job rebounding the ball, especially in the Bucks game, maybe not so much in the Pistons game, but and that's where I'd like to see more from Yuta. I'd like to see his 3-point shooting increase just a bit more because his defense is good. His defense is there. Yeah. It's just when he gets to the offensive floor, it's almost like he's not there. Yeah. And I'm seeing, and then now it's 4-on-5. Mm-hmm. Now it's 4-on-5. Mm-hmm. You know, when you take yourself out of it like that and you don't become aggressive and you hide in the shadows of the offense, now you're not. You've just subtracted a threat from the other team, and so now they're playing. They have an advantage. They have an advantage now. They literally have more guys, right? And if they have an extra guy that they can throw on Pascal, OG, Fred,
that kills us.
We're dead. Mm-hmm. We're dead, man. If these guys can be consistently double teamed, no matter who it is, all game.
Especially because, especially the Bucks game, we were rotating through 2 of those 3 guys. Always 2 of them on the court at the same time.
Totally.
If we can get one of those guys, if one of those guys can get double teamed, we're screwed because then we only have one of them, and then the rest of the guys are just guys who aren't going to hit their shots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely would love to.
Yeah, I think it really showed how much we missed Gary Trent, just his spacing.
Yeah.
And it's like I thought Scotty Barnes was fine in this game. Like I think the stat line doesn't give him credit. I thought he did a lot of good things. But when you're relying on Scotty Barnes to be the Pistons game, when you're relying on Scotty to be like your spacer, that's not a good sign. Right? He's not a proven 3-point shooter.
As a rookie, rookie.
Yeah, and it's just not his role, right? And Kem Birch, he played 3 minutes and 40 seconds. He's never going to space the floor.
Nope.
Chris Boucher will take the 3. He's not going to hit him at a good clip.
No. Precious
Yuta has just been so passive. Precious isn't going to even hit a layup.
No.
And then Svi is shooting considerably worse from 3 than Pascal Siakam is. So, Like, and when you have players like Pascal and OG and Scotty for that matter, who like to get into the paint and work in the paint, it's making it so easy for defenses just to forget about shooters, right?
Yeah.
I just think having like 2 even average shooters off the bench would like just change the complexion of this team.
Yeah.
Like they don't even have to be. They could be like 36% free 3-point shooters.
Like Jeremy Lamb would be fine.
And Jeremy Lamb,
Like-
or like for the Bucks, Wesley Matthews,
Yeah.
right? A guy like that.
Just someone who they have to close
that-
out. Like especially because Wesley Matthews, he
Yeah.
hasn't. Like the last few years of his career hasn't been a very good shooting performance for him. But he's over his career, he's been a shooter, right? So you got to respect Wesley Matthews from 3.
Yeah.
So just it's like because
Yeah.
you can leave guys like
Yeah.
Utah open right now. You can
Yeah.
leave Boucher open. You can leave Precious open, and then that just kills our flow. So
Totally, man. Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my one big takeaway from this one, man. Like, I'm glad the Raptors had a great win last night, or else I'd be much.
Yeah, I'm
much
in a
worse
much better
mood.
mood now. Than, than I was.
Yeah. I was
Gotta credit the Pistons too, though.
yeah,
they played a
and-
really hard game.
and let's be real.
They did.
The Pistons in the future are going to be good.
Yep.
They are going to be good. They're just like
Yep.
OKC. There's a foundation there for a great team. Shout out to Trey Lyles, Saskatchewan.
21 points, 7
Oh,
rebounds.
man.
Or I guess
I was so angry, man.
I'm not being a true Saskatchewanian
That
if I'm
dude-
saying it like that.
You don't like Trey Lyles?
Trey Lyles was a healthy Bulls foot away from being out of the rotation, and he just gave us 21.
Yeah.
He outscored our
That's so
entire
true.
bench.
Yeah,
So
That's so true.
pretty much.
like that's
He's slow.
like Trey Lyles is like just the most average, below average bench player. Like no disrespect to him, but
Typical ninth
our
man.
bench guys have to. Our bench players have to at least equal what he's giving them.
We just it's so frustrating seeing
and our-
other teams have solid bench performances because we just never do. Like Boucher, like last night for example against Milwaukee, Boucher had a really good game. But you don't see it consistently. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of teams always have at least one guy getting over like 10 points, which isn't much to ask. I feel like, but we never have that. We're literally averaging like less than 20 points off our bench this season.
Wow.
So
Yeah, man. I've been thinking. I'm like,
Yeah, I think.
Svi- Go for it, Sam.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that Svi, we're in a tough position right now. Like with what we have to trade, because right now the biggest guy who's got the most trade value off our bench is Chris, and I don't think we want to trade Chris. Like I
was thinking about this a couple nights ago, and I was like, would I be upset if we traded Chris? Because
that's the thing. For who?
Yeah.
Who do we want?
Because we'll also because
we-
if we're trading Chris for another good bench piece, well, we're trading a good bench piece for a good bench piece. Then it's like, what are we really? We're staying
Fair
lateral.
enough. Yeah,
So like
and-
I'd rather
Right.
keep Chris and then trade Malachi, Dragic, and I don't know whatever else.
Yeah.
For another good bench piece. So we have 2 guys who can be reliable off the bench.
And you know what I'm thinking? I just saw this the last game. I want to keep DJ Wilson.
Oh yeah, me too.
I want to keep him. I think that he's 25. He's going to turn 26. But I think we've got some years to develop him into a solid bench player. He's got great fundamentals.
He has. I mean, with how our bench is playing right now, he'll get minutes at some point.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to prove himself.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes. But
I would like to see more from DJ Wilson too, because listen, if we can get DJ to a place where he's defensively sound, solid, I don't see. And if he can flow in the offense and maybe shoot it from mid-range and finish his layups, which we know he can finish. We know he's got a good handle on the ball. If we can get him working in our system, I'm sorry, but I don't think we need Svi or Malachi, And I think that because he's 6'10", man.
yeah,
He's a big guy.
He's the tallest guy in our team.
He's a big guy, man. He's definitely useful. And not only is he a big guy, he is a strong guy. He's strong, and where Chris Boucher might lack in the strength area, he makes up for it with his defensive rebounding. If we can get DJ Wilson to get at a similar point, because
I think he has the build to be something really good, and I think he can fit into our system. Like it's the
he's
I
worth
think he's
keeping
the same.
onto.
I think it's the same.
onto.
He could do the same type of things as Precious does, in a way. Precious is better defensively. And we'll get into Precious in the Milwaukee game because I have some things I want to say about Precious, but yeah, no.
I think with DJ, like, he could maybe be like a more, like, recently I've been pretty disappointed with Kem Birch. I think like his knee he just doesn't look as athletic as he did at the beginning of the year. Like his defense just doesn't look the same, and he's not really giving you anything on offense. So it'd be interesting to see like what you could do with his contract and let DJ Wilson and let Precious start, or a guy like DJ. Well, you wouldn't have any of them starting with a healthy group, but like let DJ be that maybe more athletic chem with maybe a little more upside. I think that would be maybe kind of interesting because I love the Chris and Precious duo off the bench for defense. I'm going to stress that for defense.
For
I don't know what
defense
else.
only.
Well, let's see if we can get DJ out hitting that corner 3. That's one thing that Chem can't do, right? Like Chem can't hit that corner 3, right? Whereas what if we could get DJ to maybe hit that corner 3?
I'm so curious what our trade deadline is going to look like if we're going to make moves.
Also,
so I'm just like,
really
who do they want to trade?
Okay, think about this too. We can still put a guy like DJ playing for the 905. Right? Like we can put DJ on the 905 and get him some minutes.
He's a good shooter stats wise. And last season,
who's this? DJ?
DJ. Last season, 35 games, he shot 34.5% from 3 on 2.5 a game.
Yeah. Okay. That's something we can work with.
Definitely.
That's
better than Chris.
That's close to league average.
Right. And so, I think honestly maybe picking him up was a little bit of a steal because if we throw him in the G League and if we throw him on the 905, okay. When did Chris start getting good for us? How long did it take for Chris to start getting good for us? 2 years.
We saw it 2 seasons ago. That year we made the playoffs after Kawhi left.
And how old was Chris at that time?
27.
27. DJ's 2 years younger than Chris.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think DJ, we've got a lot to work with here. So don't sleep on DJ Wilson. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely don't. I mean, the games he did play, he looked really good.
Yeah, he did. And I think that if we can integrate him into our system, get him playing some games in the 905 with guys like Delano, really trying to
just get in a fitter system a little bit.
Integrate him.
Yeah, integrate him.
I think that we could definitely see some upside from DJ Wilson. I think that he has the potential to be a steal.
Also, he's been in the league for so long. He's been in the league since 2018, so he knows what's up, right? Totally. He's not a new guy. Precious is still new in the league, right?
Totally, brand new, fresh. So this is second year?
Yeah, second year, and even last year he wasn't getting much minutes because he was playing on Miami.
Totally.
So I definitely like having DJ Wilson. I definitely want to see what we can do with him.
Yeah, me too. Especially because he is 25. I mean, he's turning 26 this year, but still 26. You basically have from
in less than a month he'll be 26.
So you basically have from 26 to what would you say 32?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
have that pocket of time. This is his prime. You know what I'm saying? And
that's when you after 32 is kind of when you stop actually getting better.
Right. And
typically.
So also, if we were able to make a guy like Chris good to get him playing, league minutes.
We can get a lot of guys good. We made Fred VanVleet who he is.
I know.
No one saw that coming.
Exactly.
Even Pascal was 27th overall pick.
I was literally
OG 23rd.
Dude,
yeah,
I was literally thinking about that the other day. I looked up Pascal's pick, and I'm like, so many of these teams. One of the problems with OKC is they get high draft picks. But the problem is okay, well, you're going to get the highest draft picks, but now you're going to have a bunch of guys on your team who are all very good. So now they can't, it's going to be a similar situation to what happened with Westbrook, Harden, and KD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is these players all have great individual value, so their value's going to go up, and then you can't afford to keep that many players that are that good on your team. Whereas you think of a team like the Raptors, look at Pascal Siakam. This guy is, how much did he score against the Bucks on last night?
30, 10.
Yeah, he had a triple-double last night. Yo, this guy was 27th pick in the draft.
This is his draft. This is some guys who went over him in the draft. Dragon Bender went 4th. He's no longer in the league. Chris Dunn went 5th, no longer in the league. Marquise Chris went 8th, just got re-signed to Dallas. Thon Maker went 10, not in the league. Yorgos Papagiannis went 13, not in the league.
Wow.
Gurshan Yabusele, 16th, not in the league. Wade Baldwin, 17th, not in the league. Henry Ellenson, 18th, not in the league.
Wow.
Malachi Richardson, 22nd, not in the league. Ante Zizic, 23rd, not in the league. Bryce Johnson, 25th, not in the league. Pascal, 27th.
Wow. And he's just dropped a triple-double against the Bucks with Giannis. They just won the NBA championship, yo.
He was a big part of it.
Dude, come on. We shut Giannis. We shut him down.
We'll get into it.
I can't wait to talk about the Bucks game. But Sam, did you have anything else to bring up with this Pistons game, or?
Honestly, not Not really. I'm just looking here. Like I liked how, not about the Raptors though, but man, Cade Cunningham, like
He's gonna be good.
like there was like that first like 5 games of his career, right, when he was getting back from his ankle injury, and everyone was like, oh my god, is he a bust? Like, no, that guy is like the real deal.
He looks
like,
NBA ready already.
I think he's gonna be like, he's got, in my opinion, like number 1 option on a championship team. Like he's that level of good.
I agree.
With all NBA defensive potential, like he's that good. So Cade, like
he's getting like forgot about. He's not getting talked about very much.
Just because the Pistons suck, you know.
No,
I mean like Franz Wagner.
And he's not very flashy. Like he just.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah. Like I think Cade Cunningham should be probably, in my opinion, 2nd or 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting.
I think as of right now he should be 2nd.
And like he is, like if I'm projecting to the future, like he's got the most potential. I think he's just
more than
Fred
Mobley?
VanVleet's an All NBA defender. Yeah, I think so. Just because of his role, I think. It's really close though.
I think Mobley's got some crazy potential.
But a guy like Fred VanVleet couldn't even like. He's so big, Cunningham. Like he was just getting like Fred couldn't do a thing against him.
No,
and
he's 6'8",
like
6'8", dude.
Just,
or 6'6", I
he's
guess.
the real deal.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be really good.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
all right,
6'8" with a jump shot and elite passing.
Okay, do you want to get into the Bucks game?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get positive.
Well, positive for half of it, I guess.
Yeah. Well. So Raptors Bucks happened last night, January 15th. So we are still without Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr. and Kem Birch now. He broke his nose.
Yeah.
Get well soon. Is he gonna be out for a while? How long do nose injuries last usually?
He's gonna probably come back wearing one of those.
Last
face
year,
plates.
Booker broke his nose last year in the playoffs, and he didn't miss a game. So I think it's just kind of a pain tolerance thing. I don't know.
Yeah. So we had a starting lineup was Fred, OG, Yuta Watanabe, Pascal, and Precious, and the Bucks were playing without Drew Holiday. So we're already pretty upset about the Pistons game last night, and 4 minutes into this game, we see ourselves down 16-2.
God.
And we're just like, yep, okay.
They had such a hot start on us, man.
No, they did. Their transition was really
Chris
good.
Middleton hit like 2 threes on us.
Yeah, they had their.
Grayson Allen hit like 2
Grayson Allen's
threes.
good, dude. Grayson Allen's good for that team, especially. I don't like him that much as a dude.
I hate him, man.
But
oh god, I can't stand him.
He just looks like an asshole. But
yeah, he does look like a frat dude.
Sorry, Grayson. I know you're watching. Sorry,
yeah.
but
we know that you were in a frat.
Yeah. Clear as day. He's probably still in a frat.
Still going to college on the low.
Yeah. He reapplied to college just to be in a frat.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Have either of you guys watched the TV show Community?
I've seen a couple episodes. I know Gambino's in it.
Sam, have you ever seen Community?
Yeah, I have.
Have you watched like the whole thing?
Suspense.
Sam, is he frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen the whole show?
Probably not. No, maybe like 3-4 seasons.
What did he say?
I don't know. You're cutting out a bit.
3 or 4 seasons, I think.
3-4 seasons.
Oh, okay, because I don't know. There's this one. Haul it, ball it, never call it. Do you recognize that, Sam?
No.
Oh, fuck. All right, any Community fans out there will understand. Haul it, ball it, never call it.
Watch Chris now be the one NBA player that watches our podcast. He's like, fuck these guys.
Watching the Raptors podcast.
Yeah.
He's like trying to get insider info on the Raptors.
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, one more thing before we get into the game. On the Bucks, Lindell Wingington from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Just signed a 2-way.
On the Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we are located in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So Lindell Wingington was born just across the bridge.
In Dartmouth.
So shouts out to you, homie.
In the Halifax Regional Municipality.
That's it. HRM, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get into this. So first quarter, you're down 16-2 after 4 minutes. Just I mentioned this last night. Our spacing is really bad right now. Without Gary, we need Gary for spacing. And because
the defense just collapses on us every single time.
and even like Pascal, he had a good shooting night last night. I think he was 3 for 3 from 3 last night.
Yeah,
actually.
but that's the thing. He's on 3 attempts, right? Like Gary is going to shoot like maybe 5 or 6, right?
Sorry, he was 1 for. No, that's the Detroit game. Yeah, 3 for 3. But even like that's not common for Pascal. You're not going to see that every night.
Yeah.
So then if like OG was 3 for 13, like it's just those are the 3 guys that I trust to take, or I trust Fred and OG to take threes right now. And that's it. So starting our team with 3 guys who aren't trustworthy shooters right now is really tough. So that's to be honest, I thought the game was over. It's been the first quarter. To be honest, I just didn't see much. I was like, how are we gonna win like this against Giannis, right?
Yeah, right.
Also, shout out to
It's a
Giannis.
championship level team. This team is a championship contender this year.
Yeah.
Like they have the potential to win the NBA championship this year.
Sorry, I have a cold. It's not COVID, but I do have a cold. But
We'll forgive you.
thanks. Yeah, I didn't see much of. I didn't see anything that would make me think, okay, we'll win this game in the first quarter. Free throw shooting was bad. We shot 27% from the field in the first quarter.
Wow. Oof.
Just this no spacing was really tough. So it was just a tough start. But let's get into the second quarter. Pascal was being very aggressive all game, and I loved it. He's really working that turnaround in the paint.
Yeah, the mid post.
Yeah, and it's working really well for him. Fred was getting more aggressive in the second quarter. Had a nice cross on Jordan Nwora with a pull up.
Jordan Nwora got subbed out early that game and didn't see the floor again.
I know.
Grayson Allen got him all game.
That hurt me. That hurt me
too, man. I love Jordan Nwora. Just for the watchers, the first night Sam and I met, we had like a half-hour conversation with Jordan Nwora at like midnight. We were just like, it's good times. That's what we bond.
Hey, good role player.
That's what we bonded
I'd take him on the
over.
Raptors.
I'd love him right now.
He can hit a corner 3.
We'll give him Malachi. I think that's fair. So our offense was shaky all game, to be honest, but especially the first half. But what was really keeping us in it, especially in the second quarter, was our defense. Our defense was very strong. Rotations were very good.
Yep.
Boxing out was a problem.
You talking about the third quarter?
Second quarter right now.
Oh, second quarter.
Yeah. Boxing out was a problem though. They got a lot of easy second chance opportunities.
Luckily, they didn't score off of them.
I was gonna say.
Our defense was good. Our
Giannis defense in the first half was awesome.
Yeah.
We're creating the wall. We know how to guard Giannis. And with teams like this, with like the Bucks,
we're designed as a team to guard guys like Giannis. Yeah, and you got OG guarding Giannis. He can guard him.
Dude, the Raptors have been like consistently very good against superstars. Like when we go against Steph never cooks us. We go against Giannis never does great against us. Embiid in the past when we had a guy who could guard bigs, but with teams like this, you really just gotta isolate the superstar and be like, okay, you guys can win, but you're not doing it for them. So we let the rest of the team beat us, and that's what we do against teams like this.
Well, even the Bucks announcers were like, "Man, these guys are just way too dependent on Giannis for scoring, for assists." Like Giannis I think by the end of the second half had only like 7 points.
He did, yeah.
But he had like 7 assists though.
Yeah.
And I'm like
without Giannis, it's just
exactly right. It's they run their team through Giannis.
Yeah, they had to be fair, he had to take more of a playmaking role this game because Holiday was out. But still, they put a lot.
We're also missing Gary.
And that's the thing with the superstar teams. Also, like when we had Kawhi, I mean, I know people who were like, I love it. We're putting so much pressure on Kawhi. We're letting Kawhi do too much. And that's a big thing with superstar teams. Like Lakers, for example, right now, they're putting so much on LeBron.
Yeah,
like
man.
so much. LeBron is the Lakers right now. I think Nick Nurse does a really good job against these type of teams and planning for these type of teams where it's like, okay, we're going to hold this guy back. We'll put 3 guys on Giannis. Everyone else has to beat us.
Honestly, shout out to Nick Nurse's coaching this. Nick's Nurse.
Shout out to Nick's Nurse. You're doing a great job.
Yeah. But shout out to Nick Nurse's coaching this game. I think him and Mike Budenholzer had a head-to-head this game, and I think Nick came out on the side winning. I mean, I honestly think that some of our first half troubles can be traced back to low energy, and on behalf of the guys, I think there are definitely problems that Nick can be responsible for in that first half. But I think a lot of it had to do with the guy's energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just not going out and performing. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yep.
And I think, to be honest, I don't like giving this guy criticism, but one of those guys that I got to give criticism is Yuta, man. Like, I understand Yuta's not our starting guy. He shouldn't really be our starting guy. He's not put on the starting lineup to start. You know, he's put in the starting lineup because for the defense, right, and the length.
The past 2 games he started, this game and the Suns game, he's only played like 13 minutes.
Exactly.
It's not his role, but also I think he has a really tough time adapting.
Yeah.
It's seeming like where he puts a lot of pressure on himself. I don't know what the behind the scenes stuff is, but
he does put a lot of pressure on himself.
But we're really seeing Utah's weakness because before, like 2 weeks ago, we were like, "Oh, Utah has no weaknesses," you know.
Right.
We were like, "He's a perfect role player," and now I think we're kind of starting to see Utah's weaknesses coming out.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but right now it'd be really nice to have him play consistently.
Yuta Watanabe's great as your. He's great as your 8th option.
Yeah, totally.
Not as your 5th option, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or your 4th option almost, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Can I one more thing in that first half that actually really got us going was I think that and one Pascal had on Bobby Portis.
Yeah,
and then Bobby went at it. I thought that was pretty fun.
Shout out to Pascal getting to the free
they've got
throw
like a bit
line.
yeah. And I think that like Fred actually said in his postgame interview that fired the team up, and they're like, okay, like let's go, let's win this game.
That was so funny though, because when they showed like a replay of it, Pascal literally just kept screaming in his face, and one, and then he kept being quiet. He's like, and one, and one.
I don't know why Bobby got
Just
the
make
tech
laugh
and
so much.
Pascal didn't.
He was like, and what?
Like if anything, they should have both. It should have been a double tech probably.
It probably should have, but whatever.
Well, he
But,
did
hey,
give a technical
I'll
to
take
Bobby
it.
Portis, but Fred missed the free throw though, so
Yeah,
it's
well.
tough.
Yeah, right.
So first half,
We did come back from a quite a decent deficit.
we were down 3 going into the half, and then we get into the third quarter, and I'm gonna start complaining about Precious here for a second. Precious is starting to look like Chris Boucher at the start of the season. He is doing way too much on offense. It's just I see, and all the time too on second chance opportunities, especially. I see this from all the time. He'll get the rebound, or someone else gets the rebound, pass it to him. He'll dribble out to the corner, and he's trying to go ISO in the corner.
Yeah,
And it's like
What?
you're not a good playmaker, so
Yeah.
you're not going to play make out of the corner. You can't. There's not. A corner is the worst place to ISO.
Yeah.
Because you have such limited.
the baseline's right there.
Yeah,
There's
and
no,
you have
there's no
such
space.
You have such limited space. So like, what's the mentality there? And then last night also Pascal. There's one play where Pascal called the ball and Precious waved him off. It's like, man, you're not there yet. You can't. You're not going to wave off an all-star.
Yeah.
I can understand he's aggressive and he wants to. He has the potential to be that good.
Yes,
he
sure.
does.
But he's not there right
But
now.
he's not there right now. Absolutely,
And
he's not even close.
his
Really.
offense is so raw, man.
Well, and you know what annoys me too is this happened in the second half a lot too, where Precious, they weren't guarding, they weren't respecting him, and I'm like, Precious, are you an NBA player? Do you know how to play basketball? If you are open, they left him open at the free throw line. My guy, like, can you shoot a free throw? Like
Same thing.
all you have to do, they are not respecting you. Okay, one dribble into the paint. Put up a floater. Like, this is simple stuff. What he would do is he would get the ball and then dribble back out or dribble, like, from free throw line extended out to the three-point line. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You're completely slowing down our offense right now for all the wrong reasons. Like, now we only have 9 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
Like, and you're at the and
there's nothing
you
going
are on the
and
three-point line with the
he's
ball.
And he's calling ISO. It's like, that's such a low percentage shot.
I
dude.
know, man.
And against teams like Milwaukee especially, and then especially also when a lot of our guys are struggling, not what we need. We need easy buckets as much as possible.
Exactly. It's like, dude, if they're not respecting you on the free throw line,
Shoot the damn
one dribble
shot.
in. There was one free throw line jumper that he did shoot. That's the one where he bounced off the back of the rim and went in.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you took way too long to take that shot. You took way too long, bro. One dribble in, shoot it, bro. It's not that, dude. You're 6'8", bro. Like, shoot the ball. Like, oh my god. Sorry, I'm just heated right now because I can see it watching it on the court. I'm like, dude.
I don't understand how a player can look. Like, I thought he was our best defender tonight, especially against Giannis.
He was
Like,
awesome
he
against
was-
Giannis.
dude, he was
fantastic.
locking up Giannis.
And then
I was
he
gonna
can
talk
look-
about that in a
locking
little
up
bit.
Giannis.
Yeah.
But then he can look so bad on the other end.
Yeah.
And then that especially
He
right
was
now
talking
without
shit to Giannis
players.
too. he
Without-
was talking shit.
without Gary and Scotty especially, it just makes you question, like, man, is it really worth having him on the floor because it's so bad on offense, man. Like, it's really tough.
Like you said,
having
floor spacement,
Yeah.
ball movement,
Yeah.
all hindered when we have guys like Precious
Yeah.
on the floor on the offensive end.
And just like we're really missing. Man, we'll get into trades when the trade deadline gets closer, but I really want to trade for one or two just solid 3-and-D guys, man. Like
you trade Precious?
No, not Precious. I'm just saying trade. Period. Just make a
Oh.
trade for some just solid 3-and-D guys that we just have on our bench. But we'll get into that when we get closer to the deadline.
To be honest, if we wanted to make a run this year, we absolutely can have the potential, but
Yeah,
not.
and if we don't make a trade, I understand.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to win a championship this year, right? But it would be really cool to make a push. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, if we end up in the lottery, it's going to be low lottery anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it's a bad draft this year anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, we trust Masai. We always know Masai's looking out for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Masai's probably. You can say this, I think, because he won Executive of the Year.
Not in Toronto though. I was in Denver.
Oh, was that really?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
He didn't win Executive of the Year in Toronto. Are you sure?
I don't think
The
so.
same year
I know.
I won Coach of the Year. I'm pretty sure he won Executive of the Year just recently because they.
Oh, really? I know he won in Denver.
Yeah, I thought he might have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won Executive of the Year in 2019. But
Let me look. No, only.
Yeah, 2013 and.
really,
Yeah, he was snubbed. He was snubbed that one year when we won the championship.
Who won it that year?
He was runner up.
wow. Okay, dumb. But anyways,
Stupid.
see the thing about Masai though too is that I think you can say with full confidence right now, Masai is one of the best general managers that's the league's ever seen.
Oh my God! Yeah,
simply
he was a
because-
hot commodity over the offseason when he.
Oh yeah.
The Wizards were going to give him the biggest contract in executive history.
But see, the thing too is that Masai knows that Toronto, there's more to appeal to Toronto than just the Raptors. The Toronto is a very multicultural city, very forward-thinking in city in Canada as well. And there is a lot of things that he is a platform to a country. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Canada, we accept a lot of immigrants into this country. He has the whole what is the
Giants of Africa.
Giants of Africa. He has the whole Giants of Africa program, which if you want to get basketball players and immigrants coming from Africa to play over here, come to Canada.
And then Masai
come to Canada.
Masai just having those connections in Africa really makes because right now in the league we're still in a league where the whole overseas thing is fresh, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the free agent destinations are still like New York and California because
Right.
those are the American guys that are still doing all that. But once we get more in like a few years down the road when this Euro thing just becomes regular, and like overseas in general,
Canada too.
yeah, Canada too. Then I think Toronto's going to start becoming a hotter market.
I believe so. I think so too because Toronto is like we talk about this all the time is that I could see why Masai would want to stay in a city like Toronto because you're not just representing Toronto, you're representing Canada as a country. To be that guy, I think he knows he's probably got more leeway and stuff to work with here in Toronto than he would in pretty much any other NBA team. There's no buzz, there's no place that's just quite like Toronto.
He runs everything too. Like he has no one telling him what to do
Yeah.
and whatnot. Like Larry Tannenbaum doesn't tell him.
What to do at all.
No.
And the thing is, yeah, like Masai, I think we can safely say now that dude, he turned the 27th pick of the NBA draft into the main guy on our team. Like,
he turned an undrafted guy into an all-star.
undrafted guy into an all-star, bro. Like he should be. We're not gonna say that, but we like knock on wood. But like I mean, the Bucks announcers were calling him Freddie All-Star too.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
what
that
they
you
said.
watch the other commentators, because
Yeah.
I love hearing what they say.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm the only person who would really like see
Yeah.
it from that. But yeah, they did mention Freddie All-Star for sure. And like he did, Fred hit some big shots for us this game, man.
Yep.
Fred absolutely did. Like, what did he finish the game with? Like 17 points? Yeah.
Get a deep one though.
17.
Absolutely. So, sorry, just a little bit of a tangent about Masai, but it's that we trust Masai. Even if we don't make a trade, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's to say Masai doesn't make a 20th pick?
He has plans down the road too.
Yeah.
Like, but if he's making a trade this offseason, like he's been planning it, or this trade deadline, he's been planning it.
Yeah, he's been planning
like,
it.
He has a whole scheme going. He's not making impulsive decisions like that. I don't think.
Totally. It's a strategic. Him and Bobby Webster, man, they're the dynamic duo.
Yeah. Yeah, a little more from the second half here. I guess the third quarter. Things are really starting to turn around because our defensive intensity was huge. Justin Champagnie, or JC Penny, as I like to call him. That's a good ass nickname,
I think
dude.
it is
That's
too.
like getting any buzz. No one's calling JC Penny. Come on, I want my credit.
Well, and
That's
it's
sick.
like, isn't it it's a shoe store? Or
I saw
clothing
something.
store, or-
Yeah.
I
There's no
saw something
correlation
on
to
Twitter,
him, but
and people were calling him champagne poppy.
Champagne what?
Champagne poppy. Champagne
Oh,
poppy.
that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Champagne
Also.
poppy.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think JCPenney has a better ring to it.
Because his name's Justin.
And it's like-
J.C. Penney.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, whatever. When that comes around, it's gonna come around. When it comes around, I want my
When this
credit.
podcast blows up.
Yeah, when this podcast blows up, it's. We had Mr. Slim Duck hitting some nice threes for us. Rare to see, but really happy he did. That was
Wait,
huge
when did
for us.
Chris hit a 3?
Hit 2, third quarter?
What?
Hit 2.
Yeah, they're like back to back,
Yeah.
almost.
Bro, I watched the whole game. I must have missed that.
They were like, I guess, I'll just tell you.
The
Yeah.
corner.
He had that fadeaway in the corner.
Were they
Fadeaway 3.
Corner threes?
One was in the corner. Were they both? One was on the wing, and the other was in the corner.
Yeah, that second one from the corner, man. That pass from Pascal
Oh, that was
like
sexy.
absurd.
That was cross court.
One-handed skip pass out of a double team,
And dude,
leading Chris
Ya-
into an open corner.
Giannis had a pass like that a few nights ago, and it got so much buzz. No one says it about Pascal. Like,
Yeah.
shut up. Get out of here.
Bro, his passing is insane.
And there was some
is.
highlight
It's
plays
like-
from last night.
I think he's the best passer on this team.
Yeah. I think
because
so.
the thing about Pascal is he has this ability to draw the defense in, right? Like he's so big, right? Whereas Fred just can't make those giant lob passes because he's not big enough. You know what I'm saying?
And Fred will get his assist because
Yeah.
he's a point guard, right?
Yeah, totally.
I'm not saying Fred's a great passer, but just as far as like Pascal goes, he's not supposed to be doing that, right?
Yeah.
Position wise. So, so the third quarter, the intensity really picked up.
Totally.
And it really felt like more like a game we could win. The first half, I still felt like Milwaukee had
Yeah.
it, but really started to feel more like a game we could win. Pascal was I've read here. Pascal's threes in rhythm are deadly. Anytime he takes a 3 in rhythm, I feel way more confident.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when he's stepping in, then catching the ball,
Yes,
it's all
totally.
one motion. He made a couple of those, and they were huge. And as much as we kind of shat on Precious so far,
His defense was disgusting.
His
It
defense
truly
was, his defense was awesome. His hustle was there.
Oh,
also.
dude, he was locking up Giannis, man. He truly was.
And like Giannis had 30 points, and he had 14 of them from the free throw line. So
Yeah.
or 17. Holy.
Yeah.
17 for 17 from the free throw line for Giannis, dude.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we go into
And that's what I like to see from Precious.
Yeah.
Like if your offense isn't working, like he gave us an all NBA level defensive performance. So
and he
he
didn't
definitely
foul
did.
out. He had 5
And
fouls.
in
didn't
the
foul out.
end-
we kept him in that game.
yeah,
And even like he had 14
and he
points
finished
too,
the game
7 for 13
7
shooting.
for 13.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it doesn't mean like,
pretty
if
good.
you watched it, it looked kind of
Yeah.
You can just
The indecisive, the empty possessions. That's what we see,
we
right?
know the problems Precious has, so we kind of see those more.
Yeah.
But he had a really good game still.
Like if you were just an NBA fan who tuned in, you probably wouldn't have noticed that much.
No, yeah, but just we've been seeing the same issues
Yeah.
over and over and over. It's kind of driving us crazy. But yeah, so we go into the fourth quarter, and Pascal and Fred have 5 early fouls, which is very concerning. So we had to sit Pascal for a little while. So we had Fred and OG on, and Giannis was just kind of. It was getting kind of scary here because Giannis was kind of enforcing himself getting to the free throw line, and usually that's okay because he's not a great. He's 69% free throw shooter. He was 17 for 17 this game.
Yeah.
And then we started to kind of look tired, and I was getting more concerned. The Pascal comes into the game, and he explodes for the foul call, which gave us even more momentum. He went right at Giannis. I think
It was
right
close
at
to an
Giannis.
and one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it wasn't, but it was really close to it. Yeah, and that just gave us the energy boost we needed to finish this game. OG missed a shot, got his own rebound, had an and one.
Yeah, that was beautiful, man.
And Pascal clutch 3 and some more clutch shots, man.
That was at the top of the 3-point line too. That shot
Yeah.
was clutch as hell. Honestly, that was the winning shot of the game.
That was a dagger.
That was the winning
That was
shot
a
of the
dagger.
game. That put us ahead 6
And
6 points or something, or 8 points.
yeah,
Something like that,
6 I think. And that step through we had against George Hill, like
Yeah.
oh my
Right
god,
after
that is
that,
such an insane move.
Right after that, I wrote down Pascal is Bay. I was loving Pascal, dude. Sam, I can't believe you wanted to trade Pascal a little while ago, dude. That's crazy.
No, man. Elias.
Yeah, we're not changing the narrative now.
Elias. Yeah, I found there's an old video on our Instagram where you're arguing and you're like, what did you say? You were like, He's not doing anything for us. You're like, what the fuck? I can't even remember the whole clip. But
things change, okay?
I was just and like at the time, if you watched those games, it was not looking
my
good.
argument was proper.
Yeah.
And Sam agreed. We had an agreement.
Okay, we need we need Elias to get mad at like every guy who's not playing well. So the next time
put
you
some
gotta
fire
rip into
Precious do nothing for us, man.
Yeah.
Precious gotta step it up on offense.
Yeah.
we gotta trade Yuta. We have to trade Yuta.
Yeah.
You gotta get
Dude,
into him.
Svi can't do anything. Oh my god.
Well, that's facts.
He's a lost hope. He's a lost hope. Yeah.
But yeah, man, we won this game purely at the end off intensity. I think because both teams weren't killing it offensively, and we held them to 96 points. So just a great showing, especially defensively from us.
It felt like that Suns game, man.
Yeah,
I felt every possession was important. Every single possession had value. This was another one of those games where a 4-point lead felt like a 15-point lead.
And this kind of after the Pistons game, I was like, oh no, that was a fluke again. But I feel like now again seeing this, I was like, okay, that was just a rough night, right?
Yeah.
And those will happen, especially with the young team. Fred said that he got asked about it last night after the game, and he's like, man, when you got a young team, those will happen, right?
Yeah,
and,
totally.
It sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, coming right back,
especially
and
because
beating
we're like the 9th seed.
Yeah, and the
seed.
games right now are so important, especially because we're so close. It was really frustrating to lose that game, but yeah, we got to shout out Justin Champagny, man. Dennis Rodman 2.0.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
12
Him and
rebounds.
Chris are an amazing dynamic duo when it comes to rebounding.
Yeah, and 12 rebounds, 6 of them offensive.
Yeah.
And yeah, Boucher had a good night too. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks.
Dude, he blocked the shit out of Giannis,
yeah, I know.
bro.
He had a huge block on Giannis.
We blocked him twice when he was trying to dunk.
And then in the first quarter too, George Hill tried to poster him.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never seen George Hill dunk.
Yeah.
And he tried to dunk on Chris Boucher. Like Chris Boucher is a
dude.
He's
He's got over 7-foot wingspan, man.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like he's a tall guy. Chris is don't underestimate the power of what Chris can do.
Yeah.
Right. Like the Bucks
Chris
announcers
has some
again.
low lows, we have some high highs.
Absolutely. The Bucks announcers again were I think we're
Chris.
Sorry, go ahead there, Sam.
Chris and Precious combined for 6 blocks on the night.
I
thought
8
their
total
just combined defense in the paint was awesome. Like they're almost like one guy. Like they just like are always in the paint, always on the boards together.
And just especially when we're going against Giannis.
Synergy on that end.
Especially when we're going against Giannis,
Yeah.
it is huge. It's very like it stands out a lot more.
Totally.
Going against guys like that because you really see how effective it is.
Dude, when Giannis airballed that 3. Dude, you looked at his face. He was like, he looked up at. This is the first thing Giannis did when he missed it. When he airballed that 3, looked up at the scoreboard and shook his head.
Yeah.
I was like, we're in your head now. We've got you. You know it. I can see it.
That's what Nick Nurse does, man. Like that's why he does it. He gets into the superstar's heads.
Yeah.
And like the same thing when we go to Steph Curry, we always have a double team on Steph Curry all game, and it keeps him out of his rhythm. Like we just try to get the superstars out of their rhythm, and then we're like, Chris Middleton, you can beat us if you want.
Yeah.
You know.
It's true. I mean, like Chris is good. Middleton is a great shooter, but he's not Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to shoot that well all game.
That's what I'm saying. Where it's like if we're gonna lose to Chris Middleton because that's a rare occasion. Giannis beats guys all the time.
Right.
And we're not gonna beat the team that he beats again.
True. So. Got to give a shout out to Bobby Portis though, because Bobby Portis is actually a good NBA player.
Oh yeah, he's shooting extremely well from 3 this season.
Yeah,
and I think he led the league last season in 3-point shooting.
He's 26.
He shot 47% from 3 last season.
Wow.
And 43 this season.
47?
Mm-hmm. On 2.5 attempts.
Wow.
And this season he's shooting 43% on 44.5 attempts.
That's fucking crazy. And he's 26 years old.
You
so
know what it was? He worked with Lethal Shooter.
Really?
Yeah, the season before last season, he was in the gym with Lethal Shooter all summer, and Lethal Shooter got him to 47%.
That is unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
Shout out to Lethal Shooter, man. Shout out to Jamie Foxx.
Yo, hook me up, bro.
Take my money.
I forgot Bobby played in Washington. Anyway, it's a different thing. Just looking at his basketball reference. So some final stats in this game. Pascal, second career triple-double. 30 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Was so hyped when he got the last rebound right there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, let's go.
Didn't we get a steal or something?
Last
we
play.
stole the ball?
I don't know. I can't forget. But it was a I know he got his last rebound off just a missed shot. OG 24, 8 and 4 assists. Fred 17 points, 7 assists, 3 steals. Precious 14 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. Shout out Precious. Chris 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and JC Penny 3 points and 12 rebounds.
Oh my God, 12 rebounds.
Such a wild stat line.
He's 6'6", dude.
I do want to say
Dennis Rodman's stat line.
Yeah, it's Dennis Rodman's stat line. I do want to say one thing.
No.
About shutting
Sorry,
it down.
We're actually going to move on to top 10 centers, guys.
Yeah. One thing about OG. OG can give us 24. He is that
did last
good.
night.
But he is predictable on offense.
Agreed.
And we like I can see the potential. I hate saying this, but he is 24, right? Like he's got so much room to improve. 2 years from now, he's going to be 26, right? Like that's his prime, starting his prime into the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like he's at the point where he's gained enough IQ.
Yep.
It's just we see those fundamental building blocks, but I just got to say that OG this game, he put up 24 points, which is extremely impressive, but I think it's more impressive under the fact that to be honest, I wasn't that impressed by his performance. You know what I'm saying? Like OG's hitting open shots. Like I expect OG to hit open shots. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like I expect that from him. What I want to see OG doing is every time he gets into the mid range, his spin moves and dribble pull ups are always all predictable. And he takes too long to shoot off dribble 3-point shots, and he needs to be more demanding in the post. Like he needs to like.
I think I love when two ways I love seeing him score is hitting his threes. Because he can hit threes on a very well, but also using his strength down low. I hate when he gets all when he avoids the defense.
I know, I don't like it either.
He's doing
that
a lot. But all season he's been doing that. And when we first saw the start of the season, he was hitting those post fades. You're like, oh, a new OG.
But the thing is, against the Suns game, against the Suns game, he didn't really do that as much. You know what I mean? And he was more aggressive. He was getting to the basket.
Yeah.
And not that he wasn't doing that this game, but it's like, yo, OG, like. You have the potential to be a very, very good NBA player within these next couple of years. You could be doing it right now, but it's like you need to add some more. I think this is the right word. Spontaneity.
Less thinking.
Less thinking. Like you need to be more spontaneous. When you pull up for that dribble pull up, do it so fast that the defender has no choice but to contest your shot.
You can really see the thoughts going through his head when he has the ball in his hands. He's like,
Absolutely.
okay, I can do this or this or this. Okay, I'm gonna pick doing this. Like, no, just let it flow. And
what is your read? Like, what is your read? Where's this guy on your hip?
Yeah.
What is the defense doing around you? Are you being double teamed? Who else is open? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that will come. Because he hasn't had this is the most he's had his ball in his hands throughout his career, right?
Entire career,
because in the past he was more of a catch and shoot guy.
And what was Pascal at 24?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So
OG's already beating that trajectory.
Yeah. So I have high hopes for OG and everything still. But right now I think he's in this middle phase where he's becoming what he'll become. But he's kind of in this point where it's like, okay, but how much should I do? What should I do?
Yeah.
Et cetera.
Yeah, totally.
Which is okay, but it's definitely been noticeable lately. Anyway, what are you guys thinking about this game? Anything else?
I don't have much else to take from this one, man. Like we talked about all the contributors. I thought the 6 guys who played in the second half were just
it's crazy. We literally
awesome.
had a 6-man rotation this game.
Yeah. And everyone all 6 of those guys gave you something extremely important that you wouldn't win the game without. So that was really impressive. Fun to see Pascal get the triple double. It was just fun game overall.
Very fun game.
This is the Suns game that I wish we won.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, our first half could have been a bit better.
Yeah. That's still when I think about that Suns game. I still think we won.
Yeah, I still think we won too. I honestly, the loss, the Suns game. I was thinking about this last night. This is one of those losses. The Suns game is one of those losses that didn't hurt in the moment, but it hurts more over time.
I know,
right?
Like, man, just imagine saying we could have said we beat the Suns.
Dude, and it's just like we came so fucking close, right?
Yeah.
It's the game, like that Bucks game was the game that we should have won against the Suns.
Yeah, and I'm so happy we won this game because this is another close game that we lost. I'd have been so upset.
Oh, dude, I would have been very upset, especially because of the way the defense was.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like this, like if we're getting that much from 6 guys, we're able to beat the Bucks with only 6 guys. Like that really does say a lot about guys like Champagny, Precious, and Boucher. and just how well they've been playing.
Totally.
We really just need more consistent offense from these guys. Because I really like every game. I have no idea what I'm going to get from Chris offensively. I don't know what I'm going to get from Precious offensively.
Right.
And I really wish I knew we had a guy we could get 15 points from off the bench every game.
Right.
Like Terrence Ross. How much have we had Terrence Ross right now off the bench?
Right. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I mean, we're hoping Gary is going to be that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and right now he is our little packet of instant offense.
Yeah.
But you know, like we can't depend on it. We can't hinge our team on that. We need some more. We need a little bit more depth. You know what I'm saying? Like that 15 points that doesn't come from Gary because he's not playing should be coming from Utah, Svi, Chris, like Justin. Like the rest of our bench should be making up for that. And right now we're literally only seeing that out of Chris. We're not really seeing a whole lot of scoring out of Justin, which is fine because I don't
expect him.
Precious
guys in his position, their job is to play hard and get consistent minutes. And then once they get those minutes, that's when they start working other things. So right now, if we're just getting rebounding out of him, I'm cool.
Dude,
I don't
and the
expect that from
rebounding
him.
is unreal. I'm like, dude, keep rebounding. Like, I don't really give a shit if you can average 12 rebounds and 2 points a game. I don't even care.
Please, I'll give you a lot of money for that.
Especially when half of them are offensive rebounds. Like hell yeah.
And the same thing with like guys like Utah and Speed. Like I just don't know if I'm gonna get anything from them offensively every night.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's tough. That's one move. If we're to make any move during the trade deadline, I want a guy that we can get double-digit scoring off the bench consistently. Anyway.
I can understand that.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to move into our top 10 centers?
Right now,
What time do we have?
we're at about 55 minutes. I
don't think it'll take two. It won't take longer than how. Like I feel like my list isn't. Like I didn't take.
No, I don't have much
to say about. Like I think we can do it in like 15 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
Yep.
top 10 centers. This is the last of our position series thing we're doing.
The nice thing we can do is we can kind of do this every year, like reevaluate.
Yeah.
them
And then I want to get into other stuff like all-star selections and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
So
fun.
I want to get this done. All right. So top 10 centers. So Sam, you wanna hit us off first with your 10th?
All right. My surprise, no Raptors are on this list. My number 10 center is Clint Capella from the Atlanta Hawks.
So is mine. I think we're gonna have a really similar list, dude.
I think so too. Pretty like pedestrian season so far for him, but last year he was a beast offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Still one of the best rebounders in the league. Fits well with Trae Young, runs to the rim, does his job well. Just the reason he's lower is just because he's had a pretty bad year.
Yeah. I was interested when the Hawks made him untouchable. They said no one's untouchable except for Trae and Clint Capella. I was like, okay, sure, I guess. I mean, I understand because if you don't, that's a perfect guy for Trae. That's a perfect center for Trae Young. But he has had a down year. That's the same reason why he's lower for me. Last season he would have been higher. He was a beast like you said last season. But my number 9 is Nikola Vucevic. Again, is that the same as you?
No, I've got him one spot higher.
What the hell is that sound there, Sam?
A pen fell.
Oh, a pen. I was like, did you hear that? I was like,
Yeah, I was trying to
What
grab
the
it
heck?
near me with my foot.
it's off the floor.
Number 9 for me is Nikola Vucevic. I think he's had a down year, but that's also because he's had a much more limited role on the Bulls this season. Because his whole career he's been
well,
the
when
guy
you
in
have
the
Zach
Magic.
LaVine and Lonzo Ball and DeMar DeRozan playing with you, this is not the Orlando Magic.
No, on the Magic he was the guy. So he was putting up extreme numbers over there. Now he's still doing pretty much the same things. He's a little less efficient this year, but rebounding's still great. He's still a big threat offensively. You can't leave him. You can't take a break off him, because he will put up 25 and 14 on you. So, that's number 9 is Nikola Vucevic for me.
My number 9 is Miles Turner, future Raptor Miles Turner. I like his. I think he actually could show a lot more. I think he is hindered a bit by playing alongside Sabonis, but I think he gives you great rim protection and awesome 3-point shooting from that center spot. And I think those are two just extremely valuable things. And he actually is good when he rolls to the rim. He just doesn't really get the chance to roll to the rim because he plays with Sabonis.
Yeah.
So I think he might be even higher if he was in a different team, like say he was on Charlotte, right, where he's got no one in his way.
Or the Raptors.
But he does like those two things are just such important skills to have,
Yeah.
especially from that center spot. It's pretty valuable and unique. So
He actually didn't make
hopefully
my
a Raptor
list.
soon.
Turned it to make my list.
Oh, interesting.
Just because it was more because his role is less in Indiana, and
Yeah.
right, like we haven't because of that. I feel like I haven't seen a ton from him like offensively except for 3-point shooting. So that was my thing there. Okay, your number 8.
Yeah, my 8 is Vucevic. Obviously, he was much better on the Magic. On the Bulls, he does like, he gives you fine to not great defense. He'll rebound well. I think his 3-point shooting is kind of overrated.
I agree.
He's never really shot a great percentage from there, but he is good inside and he can pass for a big man. Just a good like connecting piece. He probably will keep falling down this list, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt right now. Like last night, they played without him. And he had played without Zach LaVine, and he had a great game. So, but just he's not the Magic player that he was. He's I think somewhere maybe in between that and what he's shown this year.
Yeah. So there's someone
solid.
on my list you didn't have on yours, I guess, because I didn't have Miles Turner.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Deandre Ayton. Did you have Deandre Ayton on your list?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh, so there's someone. Oh wow. Okay. I wonder who's not on yours.
He was not on my list.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. Deandre Ayton, very, very solid center for the Phoenix Suns. He does his job very well. He is probably the best baby hook shooter in the NBA. Once they get him deep in the post, it is you are done for. You're getting 2 points scored on you. And his rebounding is great. He just complements Chris Paul very well. The reason he's not higher for me is because I think a lot of his success has come from Chris Paul. I don't know how great he would be without him. I feel like his skill set is still very limited, especially for a first overall pick. I'd like to see him do more shooting, especially. I feel like all game he's kind of just down low. So I'd like to see him be more like shoot more shots mid range and even some threes. He shot threes in college, so. Yeah, no, but as far as the championship center goes, he's a very good one to have. So, yeah.
All right, your number 7.
My number 7 is Jonas Valanciunas. Is he on your list also?
Yeah, he didn't make my list.
Whoa,
No,
really?
Wow, no,
dude. Wow. Oh yeah, number 7, Jonas Valanciunas for me. Wow, that's crazy. He's such a force down low, man. I think his rebounding's excellent, and I know his numbers are.
It's the defense.
His defense is not
lie.
good, but and his numbers do look inflated right now because they're playing without Zion, so he is their second best option. But I think he's still a very dominant presence down low, rebounding wise. And I mean, his defense isn't that great, but also he's a big dude, so it's tough to go at him. He does have some fouling issues also because defense isn't that great, but. No, I think he's still such a force down low. So, yeah, that's number 7 for me.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't have JV on there was because of the defense. I think I just kind of value.
Sorry.
Like a guy like Miles Turner's defense a little more than him.
Sure.
And I'll like make up the rebounding maybe somewhere else, but like he was my last cut. It was between him or Clint or Turner, like that group.
Another thing with Valanciunas that's huge is that he's a 43% three-point shooter, which I think is
he's
excellent
totally
for a center.
Improved. Yeah, that's pretty crazy actually.
Yeah,
he was leading the league for a while.
He was, and he's still up there. So
yeah, my number 7 is one of my favorite players is Jarrett Allen. Just does kind of like all of the little things you'd want a center to do. Rolls really well to the rim. Is actually quite good in the post, like with footwork. Protects the rim at a great level. Can actually give you a little bit of like versatility outside of the paint on defense. Like he's not like super stiff. Like he'll actually move a little bit. I think I've always been a little higher on Jared Allen, and I think this series kind of showing it that he can just kind of similar to a guy like Capella last year. And I think he fits like perfectly with a guy like Darius Garland, right? Like a point guard who loves to play in the pick and roll, and a center who all he wants to do is just roll to the rim. And he can pass a little bit too for a player of his size. So Jared Allen.
Yeah, here's your number 6.
My number 6 is DeAndre Ayton.
Okay, wait, okay. I was clarifying who your number 6 was. So okay, here's your number 7, Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So number 6, okay, yeah, keep going.
I've got DeAndre Ayton at number 6. I think he actually might be able to stretch his game out to the 3-point line just because he has shown a little bit in the mid-range. I love his defense. I think he's a really good defender. He's versatile on the perimeter too.
He's still
he fits
pretty young,
perfectly
right?
with their 2 guards.
23.
Wow.
And just kind of does. He's kind of like a more polished version of Jared Allen, maybe, and a bit better defense.
Really?
I think a lot of his. I love just his. I think his post game is actually quite good. Like I think he can score pretty well one-on-one in the post.
Definitely.
And I think his defense is I loved his defense in the playoffs last year. And I think a lot of his maybe criticisms come from the fact that he was drafted number 1 overall. And it's like, God, you look at all these awesome players who were drafted after him and it looks really bad. But he does kind of like exactly what that team needs him to do.
Yep.
So I think that's really important.
Well, that was a big thing that was talked about last season when the Suns made the finals. Because all the criticism was like, oh, they could have Luka, they could have Trae Young, et cetera, et cetera. But DeAndre Ayton is the perfect guy for that team from that draft class right now anyway. So in retrospect, it was a great pick. My thing with DeAndre Ayton is that he's really soft on offense, I find. He doesn't get into guys at all, and he's huge. So I think he's 250, 6'11". So I'd love to see him body guys more. And like I mentioned earlier, I just kind of wanted him to see him stretch his game out more as far as shooting goes. Yeah, my number 6 was Jarrett Allen. His rim protection is insane. His rolling ability is absolutely insane. His poster ability is absolutely insane. Everything he does everything he can do, everything in his skill set that he does is like amazing. You know, like the things he can do. Like he's not a shooter, obviously. He's not really a passer much. He can pass. But as far as what he's good at, he's extremely good at. He strives at. And like you said, I was going to compare him to the same thing. I was going to say he's like Clint Capella from last year, where he's such a dangerous roller. And then with Darius Garland being a much improved playmaker this season, that's going to be a very lethal duo for years to come. Okay, my number 5 was Bam Adebayo. He's been injured this year, so haven't been able to see much from this year, but he is a defensive monster. He is an excellent playmaker for his position. Same thing as Ayton, though. I kind of want to see him stretch his game out a bit because he's shown flashes that he can be a shooter, like at least in the mid-range. But I wish he would do it a little more. But for what he does, again, he does it very well. So
sweet. Your number 5, or is it my turn?
Your turn. That number 5 was Bam Adebayo for me.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, you cut it a little bit there. Yeah, I've got Bam at 5. His defense is absurd, like just amazing defender, great playmaker. I thought his scoring ability would come along a little bit more as of now. Like he showed a lot last year and the year before, but like he's a very unique player. Like he does a lot of interesting things on the floor, like interesting mix of skills.
He and Pascal are kind of similar, like in the post at least, where the way they play make out of the post. You going, Sam? You can keep going.
No, I didn't hear you cut out there.
Oh, sorry. Okay, no, just keep going. Keep saying what you were saying.
All right. All right. This maybe. I guess we might have some. I don't know. My number 4 here is Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Amazing offensive center.
One of the best all time.
Yeah, like the shooting ability is out of this world. Can pass, can roll and finish inside. I don't love him as like a shot creator. I think he fits well with a guy like Anthony Edwards that can do the shot creation. But like, and the defense isn't even that. Like the defense has improved since when he was younger. But kind of like the perfect, like when we're talking about like stretch centers, like that is the guy.
Imagine him and Pascal playing together. One of the best.
Oh man.
Pascal's defense would make up for it.
Just as everything.
They would complement each other so well. Yeah. Cat's my 4 also. Same reason Sam said. His defense is not good enough to put him in top 3, but his offense is absolutely insane. And then I think like even if you put him on a team like by himself and a bunch of scrubs, like he would be able to give you crazy numbers. So and then just his playmaking is great. Also, I think his decision making has really improved over the past couple of years. Yeah, pretty much same thing Sam said. My number 3 is Rudy Gobert. Him and Towns are kind of polar opposites in how they play, where Gobert is an insane defender. And the reason I have him over Towns is because I think they haven't played with Gobert's been out like the past 5 games or something, and Utah is in those past 5 games is the worst defensive team in the league with Rudy Gobert out. So
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, so that's how big of an impact Rudy Gobert makes, because usually they're like in the top 5, top 8 minimum defensive teams, and without Gobert they're down to 30th. Wow. So he is even just being a presence there is huge, and he's a great rim roller. Obviously a great shot blocker, and just does everything the team needs him to do very well.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like defensively, and I think this their struggles the last little bit when he's been out is kind of shows why they struggle in the playoffs, right? Because when teams lure him out of the paint, they can just go around their perimeter defenders.
And that's the tough part about them playing against teams like Philly or Denver with guys like Embiid and Jokic who can play, or I guess Minnesota too, but they're not going to be in the playoffs like that. But yeah, like Embiid and Jokic, those two guys are so good in the perimeter, so that brings Gobert out of the paint, and then they're going to have a tough time after that.
Yeah. All right, my number 2, really no disagreement, I don't think here, is Joel Embiid. I think he almost gets underrated a bit because he gets compared to Jokic.
Yeah.
But he is, in my mind, like a lock as a top 10 player in the league. I think he's like Gobert's a better defender, but Embiid is not far behind Gobert, especially given his versatility.
I think his defense is underrated too because that gets compared to Gobert's.
Yeah, and I think he can kind of do he's actually obviously his playmaking isn't Jokic level, but he's become a really good playmaker, can score on anywhere on the floor. He's been playing like an MVP candidate for the past 3 weeks here. He's been he does literally everything. I think he's the caliber of player who can be your best player on a title winning team, just with all the stuff he does on the offensive and defensive end. Yeah. Joel Embiid, numero dos.
I completely agree with everything Sam just said. His numbers are insane too. He's shooting he's used to get knocked on his 3-point shooting, especially back in 2019. He was a 30% 3-point shooter on 4 attempts, but now he's shooting around league average or a little bit above on a solid clip. But he's playing down low a lot more. His post game is one of the best the league's ever seen. Great rebounder, great defensive anchor, and he will go down as one of the best centers of all time, in my opinion. Like Sam said, I think his offense gets underrated because it's compared to Jokic's, and I think his defense gets underrated because it's compared to Gobert's. So I think he needs to get more recognition about how good he actually is, because he is a superstar level talent. And I think both of us will have the same number 1, Nikola Jokic. Not much needs to be said about why he does literally everything. His defense is also very underrated. He's a very solid defender. He's kind of slow, and that's the only real knock on him. So,
he is. You could argue Jokic is one of the this stretch from Jokic is one of the 10 greatest offensive stretches in NBA history.
Absolutely, it's kind of overwhelming, to be honest, how good he is.
Yeah, that team without him is a lottery team. Bottom 5 team in the NBA without him.
I mean,
with the injuries.
You look at their roster right now. Their roster is disgusting right now with their injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he is keeping them afloat. So, big shout out to Jokic, man.
Yeah, there's nothing else you need to say. One of the he might be the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Not a lot of disagreement at all. I didn't think there would be.
No, Jonas Valanciunas top 10. What?
Sorry, JV. I just, I don't know. I guess I don't appreciate your rebounding.
All right.
Okay. Well, if that's all that we have for today, we are looking ahead.
Looking ahead real quick.
I guess we play Miami on Monday.
Ooh, cool.
Bam is coming back.
Yeah, it's the first game
Lowry
back
for the first time.
It's in Miami. Thank God. I really hope Kyle's
Miami's
back.
been
It's near the end of the
awesome
month.
this year.
Yeah, I hope when Kyle comes back at the end to Toronto at the end of the month, we have fans back. 'Cause I would suck when Kyle
I
comes
They
hope
back.
so
play us
too.
at the end of the
Yeah.
month in January.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
damn!
So
I
really hope
doubt it.
fans
To
are
be
back.
honest,
Well,
I doubt
initially
it.
it was 3 weeks, and it started at the start of the year.
Yeah, and
So-
then it's 3 weeks gonna turn into 3 fucking months.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see
At
what
least in
happens.
Ontario. Ontario's pretty crazy with their restrictions right now.
Yeah,
but
we'll see. New Brunswick just got put on lockdown.
I did hear about that.
I was
which
talking
is
to my mom
crazy.
yesterday, and
Which is wild.
they say, "Oh, it's horrible." It's
Yeah,
so
it's
stupid.
It's tough, man. It's really tough. I mean, oh, we don't get to have a crowd for basketball. This is the worst. I mean, like, to be honest, it's the least of like the real problems with COVID. But like at the end of the day,
I want Kyle to get claps.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's no good way about it to say it or anything. To be honest, we'd like to see a crowd, but also we don't want people to be dying from COVID. So, you know, it is what it is. So hopefully, let's hope by the end of the month there's gonna be some fans allowed back in the building, because that's just disrespect.
Is it just the Miami game?
Yeah, because I think we'll probably record before we play Dallas on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Alrighty. So, without any further ado, before we head out of the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and also leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam County.
All right, peace out. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
Later.
Peace.